Hey guys, and welcome to this part 2 of my long weekend Easter knitting vlog. If you're new here, I'm just going to chat what I'm working on, knitting, spinning, whatever craft I can come up with throughout this long weekend as I have a couple of days off. So I uploaded part 1 yesterday, which I think towards the end had a bit of an audio thing, so I'm not sure what happened there. I'm not that I edit much anyways, but I'm going to try to edit this one a bit less and have less tiny clips in it, so hopefully the audio will be okay. Yeah, it is Easter Sunday. I got up at the crack of dawn today. We all did. I think every parent did. And the Easter Bunny had to hide some eggs and secondhand Paw Patrol toys because we're all about the Paw Patrol at the moment. And then my son obviously had a lot of fun finding everything in the garden. We were lucky. The weather isn't great. Spring has finished. We had one day of spring yesterday. Now spring is done. But it was dry enough for him to find everything outside, so he was very excited. And then we had some Easter breakfast. We took a little Easter walk, which again, the Easter Bunny distributed some eggs along the way. Had a big coffee and also a big meltdown in Costa, but we got through it. And the rest of the day is going to be quite relaxed, I think. I am once again wearing my very ratty and bobbled anchor sweater because this is just so comfortable. It looks awful. I am embarrassed to be wearing this on the podcast. I did de-bobble all of this last week, but there we go. Bubbles are back. But it's just so comfortable. And today I think it's all going to be about just chilling out. I'm going to talk to a friend later, hopefully get some knitting done. And yeah, I have been doing some crafting. So let's talk about that. First up, my husband's socks. I showed the yarn yesterday. This is Das Mondschaf, one of my German favorite indie dyers. Not sponsored by anyone that I mentioned, by the way. This was from her Breaking Bad club that my lovely friend gifted me all 3 skeins of last year for my birthday. So this is I Am the One Who Knocks. I also have Albuquerque and the Big Blue. And I think earlier, at some point, years ago, I also bought a colorway called Heisenberg. And I have a feeling most of these will be for my husband because we both love Breaking Bad. But I've knit him quite a few socks out of Das Mondschaf yarn. They just tend to be his colors. They hold up pretty well while being still a very soft merino based sock yarn. So yeah, as you can tell, I did a bit of stress knitting last night because it's not all fun and rainbows. I knit on these while trying to get my son to sleep, very unsuccessfully I should say, but at least I had success on the sock. So this just brings me so much joy. It is so bright. It's a proper neon yellow. Of course now my son wants socks out of this as well, so I'm gonna see if I can squeeze a pair of toddler socks out of this as well. I'm not sure if I can because my son, his feet are quite big now. Like, this is not, tiny baby socks anymore. He needs proper socks. They actually take some time to knit. But yeah, I'll just weigh some of his most recent ones that I've made him and see if I have enough. I think I should because my husband doesn't like very long socks. So while I am tempted, I like making a long leg on my socks. He probably wouldn't want much more of a leg before I start the heel. So yeah, progress on the socks. And I also have been doing some spinning, so I'll show you that, and I'll also show you some new fiber that I got for Easter, just by chance. So this is the fiber that I'm spinning up, and I'm going to be chatting a bit about Spin Jones fiber, who is they dye and blend fiber here in the UK, and I reckon my 2 favorite UK fiber people is definitely Spin Jones and Hilltop Cloud. Because the fiber prep is just so beautiful that it makes this stuff really, really easy to spin. And at the moment, for example, I am really into long draw, even though this is this came as a braid, so this is a worsted prep, but I can still spin it long draw because I can do whatever I like. And you just need fiber that is nicely prepped and even and not felted or anything. And both Spin Jones and Hilltop Cloud, I think, have beautiful fiber in that regard. So this is what I'm spinning up at the moment. I think it is my colors, but I probably wouldn't have bought the fiber if I just saw it as a braid. But I saw someone spin it up on Instagram and it was so fun. So I decided I wanted to do the same. So this is my e-spinner. This is the Ashford e-spinner 3, which I always said I don't love, but I think he's growing on me. I've had him for like, what, 4 or 5 years? I think I named him Eddie at some point. And yeah, I do really like him now, so that's good. And this is what I have spun this morning. So I am spinning the singles and I'm going to make a 2-ply. So I have divided the fiber by 2. This is all that is left of the first 50 grams of fiber. I'm going to spin this onto one bobbin, then spin the other 50 grams onto another bobbin, and then I will 2-ply it. And I am, like I said, spinning this long draw. I'm really enjoying the long draw at the moment. And what happens is, I get more meterage out of my yarn because it's less dense, less condensed as you spin it. And it just makes a much more fluffier yarn, which I love the look of that. And I'm really into barber pole yarns at the moment. I'm doing a lot of 2-plies. So this is going to be a really fun 2-ply. And you can tell already that by spinning it, it's not as bright as it is like this. And once I 2-ply it, it's going to, you know, mix the colors even more. So I think it's going to be a fun sort of unicorn sort of colorway. Like, obviously it's still going to be a little bit out there, but it's not going to be screaming neon or anything. And I am really into handspun hats at the moment. I wore my last one, which I showed on, I think, episode 290, the last proper episode that I recorded. I wore that today, and I really enjoy a handspun hat. So I think I'm just going to make loads and loads of them. I mean, I might also do other things, but I think this would be a very fun hat. So yeah, this is what I've been working on. I'm definitely going to finish the first 50 grams today. Maybe even more. I'm really enjoying it, and it is quite a fast project to spin. I reckon I'm going to get a sort of probably sport weight 2-ply out of this. I'm trying to spin fine, but not too fine, because in the past, years and years ago, I used to spin sort of too fine yarns, and then what do you do with them? You don't always want a super fine yarn. So sport to fingering, sometimes decay is my happy place, and I think we should be okay with this spin. This is where I see this going. So this is what I've been working on. And like I said, the Easter Bunny / Royal Mail Post Office Man also brought me some new fiber, which I had ordered a couple of days ago, because I'm just so obsessed with spinning at the moment. And if you've watched, you'll know how much I enjoyed my most recent long draw spin that I spun from a bat from Spin Jones. So I got 2 more. Excuse the crinkling. So this is more Spin Jones fiber. How beautiful are these? This one I was actually very tempted to get when I first ordered, but then didn't. But I did have to pick it up now. And theoretically, you could even spin this into a longer gradient. I don't think I will. And this one has sort of silk noil and bamboo and all kinds of stuff in there too. So this one is going to be more textured. Whereas this one is a merino and silk. But they're both beautiful. I will take them out of the bag to show you, but I'll never get them back in there again. So just imagine that once you unpack this, it's going to be even more beautiful. This one's called Bazaar, this one's called Incantation, and I can't wait to spin these into more sort of gradient yarns. I'm all about the gradients at the moment, and yeah, I love these. I'm still having to take coughing breaks, which tells me I should probably stop talking. But very quickly, I also wanted to show you, I picked up this as well. This is, I think, my first hand-dyed fiber from Spin Jones. I bought this because I wanted to try her dyed fiber, and also this is a really interesting base. This is Panther Arenas, which I haven't heard of in the past. So I looked it up, and it seems to be more a description of where this comes from than a sheep breed. I could be wrong on this, but this is the research that I found, which there wasn't very much of it. I think it's sort of similar to where you can get Falkland Merino, and it's still a merino, but it's spun in a certain area, and obviously the sheep sort of adapt and change over time. So a Falkland merino will feel different to your regular, I don't know, 23 micron merino that you might be getting from Australia. So, this is Panta Arenas, which I've had that can be either Merino or Corriedale sheep. And yeah, I like both. I love a Corriedale, and it almost reminds me of like a Falkland or even Polworth, like it's very bouncy. So maybe my theory is right. I'm not sure, but it was interesting. And you could buy it in 50-gram braids. So I got 2, which will make it very easy for me to once again spin 2 bobbins, ply them together, and have a beautiful 2-ply barber pole yarn. And yes, this is very outside of my usual color comfort zone. I would buy everything in pink if I could, but realistically, I need more colors in my life than just pink. And I thought this was quite fun. I think this will look really pretty once I've spun it up. And I don't know, maybe my son will want a hat, maybe my husband will want a hat. Maybe it'll be something different altogether, but yeah. I wanted to try this, and I also once again got a little sample. I love these samples. This is not even a little sample. So this is a Merino and Tassa colorway Scrappy. So yeah, I got some fiber to play with. I have so much fiber that I want to spin at the moment. I am really enjoying the spinning, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, I keep on coughing, so I'm going to let you guys go, do some more spinning, and then later, while I'm talking to my lovely friend Robin on the phone, who used to have a podcast, but I think she hasn't podcasted in a long time, so I'll bug her about that. Later I'm going to be knitting and hopefully make lots of progress. We need to make lunch soon. I'm all over the place with the clocks change. But yeah, we should make lunch soon, and I don't think anything super exciting is going to happen today, but I'm very happy to sort of hibernate, hide inside, and yeah, craft my little heart out. So I will catch up with you guys later. I'm back. It is now about 6 p.m. and honestly my day has been pretty uneventful. I had a lovely talk on the phone with my friend while working on my hedgehog fiber sock, which I haven't brought down to show you, but essentially I've knitted about half of the foot, so I'm quite proud of myself for working on that rather than just working on my shiny new sock cast on, which I showed you earlier. And also, I talked to Robin, and finally she convinced me to drag this out again. This is my linen quill jumper. I was using the Strange Brew pattern by Tin Can Knits just for the sort of numbers and increases, which they're quite bobbly, quite visible. But I think once I block it, it should be okay. Obviously, I didn't add any color work. I merely used it for the increases and numbers. I'm holding Pearl Soho Linen Quill Double, and I am marling 2 colors. So I started with, 2 pinks, and then changed one of the pinks to this salmon-y color, and then added in the darker yellow, and now I'm working with the 2 yellows held double. And yeah, this is where we are at. I sort of paused this for about 4 weeks. The main reason is that I cast on 3 sweaters. This one, the Celeste, and what was that one? I don't even remember anymore. I cast on 3 sweaters and had 3 sweater whips at the same time, and then it just got too much. So, and the stripes. So I finished one by one, and then by the time I had finished the stripes and the Celeste, I just couldn't deal with this. And also, I have been doubting the colors, but I keep being reassured that this is a good choice. And I was so close to ripping this out a couple of times, but it would be such a waste. And I do think it's pretty. I tried it on earlier with moral support from Robin, and it does fit reasonably well. So I have marked where I was when I tried this on. This is where I was, and this was about belly button length. So I think I decided to knit 2 more inches, maybe slightly less, then start the rib. And once I finish the body of this, I'm not far off this. I also tried it on, and Robin thought it would be a great idea to do sort of 3/4 length sleeves. Possibly even sleeves that just go like just past the elbow. I think that could look quite flattering because it is a bright sort of springy piece. So yeah, I am now motivated, at least reasonably motivated, to pick this up again and just make some progress. Because yes, I don't think I want to rip it out. I think I want to continue. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I think it could be a fun sort of statement piece. So yeah, I've been working on that. I also finished my first bobbin of the singles that I showed you earlier. So all in all, pretty good progress considering it was like a day at home with a 3-year-old. I was hoping that tomorrow, which is Easter Monday, which is a bank holiday here in the UK, I was hoping my husband might take my son out for a day trip. It may not be happening. It depends. If it happens, I will get so much crafting time, and obviously I would love it, but also there are reasons why this might not happen. So depending on that, depending on how much family time there is, that very much decides how much knitting time I'll have. I don't want to make any solid plans right now, but we'll just see what happens tomorrow. But I thought I'd sign out this vlog for today. Today was much more chatty than yesterday's, but I hope you still enjoyed it. I get very self-conscious about these vlogs and podcasting in general at the moment because I've been doing this for a very long time. And the styles of podcasting and the standards of video podcasting have changed drastically. Like, I'm not sure how many years I've been doing this, but maybe 8-ish, possibly more. And back in the day, it used to be just very normal people, you know, recording with usually very horrible video quality and no focus worked, and it was very basic, but I thought it was also very human. It was very real, very unedited, just, you know, like regular people. And now, I mean, I don't want to bore you with like algorithms and reels and Instagram and all of that, but I feel like it's changed a lot and I don't like it. And I don't like that like Instagram has changed a lot from, you know, a pretty photo and some words to reels and clickbait and all these, like, you're just bombarded with information and everything has to be very sort of chop. And a lot of people, they look like models, and yeah, it's changed a lot. I'm not talking about anyone or anything in particular. I just can tell that this has changed, and sometimes I don't know where I fit in. And I know you guys are lovely, and you guys leave lovely comments, and a lot of people keep coming back, and some of you have been coming back for so many years. And I'm so grateful for it, but I'm still sort of finding my groove sometimes. And sometimes I feel comfortable and sometimes less so. But I've decided to just persevere and keep going, and we'll see. I will have to reevaluate, which I do every now and then anyways. But yeah, this is my thought process. You didn't ask for it, but here you go. By the way, in the background, you can see my garden. And now you can see... Oh, this is going to be difficult. No, I can't do this. I can't point. This used to be old tiles, and now there's all this lawn that you can look at, and it makes me so happy, even just seeing it in the reflection of my own video. It's still, there's much more work to be done, but I am really enjoying this, and I think this is our second spring in this house and garden, and last year it was basically just me, and I was there's a lot going on. We just moved, we had a tiny human who hated the fact that we moved and took away his previous home. But this year it feels much more like a joint effort. Kai has been doing so much work on the garden as well, and it's really coming together now, and it makes me very, very happy. So yeah, that is knitting update, spinning update, podcast thoughts, all of the above, really. Not sure if today has been a bit disjointed, but I'm just going to upload it and you can watch it, and if you're still watching it, I assume you liked it. If not, that's fine. So I shall be back soon, within a couple of days, possibly tomorrow, maybe the day after, who really knows. I have no idea what's happening anymore. I am in this days of bank holiday. I have lost all sense of like time and space and any of that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you're having a lovely weekend, whether you're celebrating Easter or just having a regular weekend. I will talk to you very soon. Until then, thank you for watching. Happy knitting. Bye!